welcome to the Deep Dive. So today, September 16, 2025, it's actually a really pivotal day. We're seeing something, an announcement that tackles this huge challenge kind of unfolding quietly in, well, the energy sector. Think about it, a future running on clean energy sounds great, right? But what if we hit a wall? Just not enough people trained to build it, run it, keep it safe. It's a crisis that, affects everything, your power bill, the environment. So we're going to dive into this clean energy skills gap and explore a really groundbreaking solution. Feels almost sci-fi. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it's a stark reality, isn't it? The clean energy shift, it's happening fast, maybe faster than we thought, but the workforce, well, it's struggling to keep up. We're definitely facing a bottleneck. Not enough skilled people to make this new energy future happen safely, efficiently. It's a real problem.
Absolutely. So our mission today really is to look at this super innovative approach. It uses cutting edge tech, VR, AR, that kind of thing, to train the next wave of energy workers. And it all stems from this fascinating announcement made just today. There's been incredible insights here about how we actually power the future, one skilled person at a time. So why this skills gap? Why is it such a crisis right now? Here's where it gets really interesting. The energy sector. It's going through, its biggest transformation in maybe a century. It's this huge global pivot, driven by two massive things, decarbonization, obviously, but also countries wanting energy independence. And this shift, it's causing demand for trained technicians, for operators to just absolutely skyrocket.
Oh, the numbers are quite alarming. We're talking tens of thousands of jobs unfilled globally. And the old ways of training, frankly, they just aren't cutting it anymore. Think about it. You've got manuals, classroom theory, maybe some limited time in a lab with expensive equipment. It just doesn't scale. And crucially, it can't really simulate the high-risk scenarios. The high-cost environments you find in modern energy systems. The result? Well, onboarding new folks takes forever, like 6 to 12 months. And maybe more worrying, safety incidents are still stubbornly high.
Yeah, that long onboarding plus the safety issue, that really highlights the core problem, doesn't it? Because those traditional methods, they just flat out fail to prepare people for the really dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how do you really train someone to prevent a catastrophic arc flash?
Yeah.
Or navigate a confined space safely? Or handle complex substation switching, grid emergencies? You absolutely have to be ready for that before you face it live. Learning on the job in those moments, it's not just slow, it's incredibly dangerous.
Exactly. And this is why it matters so much for you listening right now. This isn't just industry talk. It's about the actual safety of the people keeping your lights on. It's about how reliable your energy supply is. And, ultimately, how fast we can all get to a sustainable, clean energy future. When we talk safety incidents, we're talking about lives. And that's a cost no one should have to bear. This tech, fundamentally, it's about reducing that human cost, which in turn affects your daily life.
Okay, so we've laid out this pretty urgent problem. Let's talk solutions. Today's announcement points us to EON Reality. They're known as a global leader in AI-powered augmented and virtual reality, XR, basically.
That's right.
For knowledge transfer. And they've just launched this new energy workforce training segment. It's part of their bigger platform, XR Library Premium.
Right. And what's fascinating here is what XR Library Premium actually is. They call it the world's most comprehensive skills-to-jobs platform, powered by something called spatial AI. Essentially, it flips the script on training, moves it away from just theory into really immersive, job-ready experiences. How? Well, it uses these incredibly detailed digital twins. Think perfect virtual copies of real equipment, real work sites. So imagine learning to fix, say, a multi-million-dollar wind turbine gearbox, but without leaving the ground, or without taking the actual turbine offline for training. That's the kind of shift we're talking about. It's huge.
And it sounds like it's structured, too, not just random experiences. They mentioned 4 core groups of training, all mapped to skills employers are really looking for. So what's group 1?
Let's dive in. The first group, top priority, is high-risk safety. Because, let's face it, energy sites can be incredibly dangerous places, so EON in Reality delivers these super lifelike safety drills. The key is, trainees can make mistakes, but safely, which makes the lessons really stick, unforgettable, really. For instance, they have an arc flash response module aligned with NFPA 70E standards. Learners go into the simulated substation. They practice assessing hazards, putting on the right PPE, personal protective equipment, rehearsing emergency steps, all following that critical NFPA 70E guidance from the National Fire Protection Association. Another really vital one is working at height. Think tower climbs, rescue drills, fall protection. Technicians practice climbing a, say, 300-foot virtual turbine tower. They inspect harnesses, learn anchoring, even do a simulated rescue. And here's the power of it. A new wind tech could repeat that tower climb and rescue drill maybe 50 times virtually. Think about the muscle memory, the decision-making skills they build up, all without any real wind risk. So they're truly ready for that first real climb. And it covers other critical things too, like confined space entry, practicing gas tests, rescue plans, all in virtual tanks.
Wow, 50 times. So making the impossible safely repeatable. That's clearly a massive step for safety. Okay, well, what about the everyday stuff? Operating and maintaining those huge, expensive assets. How do you practice that without risk?
Exactly. Which brings us neatly to Group B equipment operation and maintenance, also a top priority area. The challenge here, like you said, is these are multi-million-dollar assets. You can't just take them offline for training easily or let trainees loose on them unsupervised. So XR bridges that gap with those digital twins. For example, there's a wind turbine gearbox service and vibration analysis module. Learners can virtually pop open a nacelle, that's the box at the top of the turbine, inspect the gearbox, learn to diagnose different vibration patterns, practice fixes, all in this detailed, interactive digital space. Another really critical one, substation switching, protection transformer maintenance, high voltage stuff. Technicians can run through safe switching sequences again and again, practice maintenance on transformers virtually. And the use case here is powerful. Someone can practice substation switching in XR until it's absolutely flawless. They don't have to wait months for that rare chance to get supervised access to the live gear. It just massively speeds up competency. And they also cover things like hazardous materials handling for energy sites, dealing with battery, electrolytes, solvents, oils safely in that controlled digital world.
That's incredibly powerful for efficiency and obviously safety too. Practicing on things too valuable or dangerous to touch otherwise. Yep, that's a game changer. But what about the other big headache in this industry? All the regulations, the certifications. Is XR speeding that up or is it still mostly paperwork?
You've hit on a really key point, and it's somewhere. XR actually makes a huge difference. Group C is regulatory and certification. It's priority 2, maybe, but let's be clear, compliance is totally non-negotiable in energy. So what XR Library Premium does is bake those global safety standards right into the simulations. This massively speeds up getting certified. For example, they've got immersive training aligned with OSHA electrical and construction safety for renewables. So you get standardized competency for OSHA regs. Then there are modules for GWO core safety for wind, that's the global wind organization stuff, baseline certs for wind techs onshore and offshore. Delivering that in XR, it cuts down the cost and time of traditional training significantly. And for newer systems, things like IE standards for utility interconnection, for distributed resources like solar or batteries connecting to the grid, learning grid tie-in rules virtually. But here's the real kicker, the use case. A trainee can actually complete a lot of these OSHA or GWO-aligned modules in XR before they even set foot in a physical training center. We're hearing it can cut that in-person certification time by like 40, maybe even 50%. That's a huge boost for individuals and companies.
40 to 50% faster.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a massive change in how quickly someone can get certified and actually be ready for the job. Okay, so looking ahead now. The grid's changing super fast. What about prepping workers for the real cutting-edge stuff? Things maybe not even fully rolled out yet.
Right, and that leads us to Group D, advanced technical skills. Another priority 2 area, but absolutely vital as the grid modernizes. XR lets workers get hands-on with really complex, sometimes futuristic systems, even before they see them in the field. A really potent example is battery energy storage, specifically thermal management and runaway response. Lithium-ion safety is huge. Operators can practice spotting early warning signs of trouble, practice emergency shutdown procedures during a simulated battery incident. And here's a use case you just can't replicate physically. Simulating a full lithium-ion thermal runaway in XR. It's far too dangerous to do for real training. But in XR, they learn exactly how to stop it escalating. That could literally prevent disasters. The platform also covers things like microgrid operations, simulating how to manage distributed power sources, black start procedures after an outage, building resilience. Really crucial skills for the future decentralized grid. And for stopping problems before they start. There's predictive maintenance, using things like IV curve analysis for solar panels or thermal imaging diagnostics. XR tools teach techs how to read that sensor data, interpret heat signatures from thermal scans to predict equipment failures before they happen and cost a fortune. It really makes you ask, how else could you possibly prepare people for these incredibly complex, potentially catastrophic events that you just can't train for safely any other way? You need safe, immersive simulation.
It's really stunning when you think about it that way. So if we connect all these dots, pull back to the bigger picture, it feels like a truly dramatic shift, a foundational change in how we approach training, moving from just reacting to being genuinely proactive.
Exactly. Let's just quickly compare the before XR Library Premium and the after based on what they've outlined. It's stark. Training before, often fragmented, mostly theory. After. Cohesive, job-focused XR modules validated by employers. Onboarding before. 6 to 12 months after. Readiness slashed to just weeks thanks to that hands-on XR practice.
Huge difference.
Massive. Safety drills before. Limited. Unsafe to repeat often. So you couldn't build that deep muscle memory without risk. After. Unlimited reps of high-risk scenarios, zero danger. Certifications before. Costly, sometimes inconsistent. After. XR modules embed OSHA, GWO, NFPA, IE standards directly. Streamlined. And finally, exposure to advanced tech before. Workers often lacked it until they were on the job. After. XR prepares techs for microgrids, battery storage, AI systems before they even walk onto a site.
That really hammers it home. This isn't just, a slightly better way. It's a fundamental revolution in getting people ready and keeping them safe, especially in this industry where mistakes cost so much financially and, more importantly, in human lives. So, quick thought experiment. If I'm, say, a CEO at a major utility, what's the one insight from this I should really grab onto? Maybe something I haven't considered.
Good question. Beyond just faster training, it's the unprecedented ability to proactively reduce the risk of future blackouts. How? By creating a workforce that has literally rehearsed every plausible grid failure scenario you can throw at them. That level of predictive readiness, that immediate practice response capability, honestly, it was just a dream a few years ago. This tech offers a pathway to operational resilience that's almost priceless in today's world.
Wow. That's a powerful framing. Okay, broadening out again, looking at the macro level.
Yeah.
This isn't just a training tool then, is it? It feels more like a strategic necessity.
It absolutely is. XR Library Premium directly tackles that clean energy skills gap. It creates this clear, much faster pathway. It connects learning directly to hands-on skills through to certifications into actual jobs and ultimately income for people, the benefits for governments, for utilities, for clean energy companies. They're immense. You get a workforce that's job-ready faster, is safer, and better trained overall, and that is absolutely critical if we want to speed up this global clean energy transition we all need.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for us? Today, we've really dug into how something like EON Reality's XR Library Premium is tackling a huge bottleneck in this global energy shift. And it's not just about the cool technology, right? It's about solving a critical real-world problem, one that impacts worker safety, how reliable your energy is, and ultimately, our planet's future. It's really about empowering people to build that future.
And maybe here's a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Step outside the energy sector for a moment. Imagine this model, safe, scalable, deeply immersive training. How could that change preparedness and reduce risk in any high-stakes field? Think about healthcare. Surgeons practicing complex operations hundreds of times virtually before touching a patient. Or aerospace. Astronauts simulating every possible emergency in zero-G. What does this kind of capability really mean for the future of skills, for global safety standards? Across every single industry you can imagine, it's profound.
It really is an immense potential there, not just to train, but to genuinely empower and protect the workforce of tomorrow, whatever field they're in. Definitely something to think about.